Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I want to share an encouraging, amazing story about how the Lord blessed me greatly and moved mountains for me while I was on the verge of homelessness with my two youngest children and my three cats. Okay? So this happened to me in 2011. My husband and I at that time separated. I was left alone in the house with the kids, no job. I was a full-time homemaker, and the money I had was all the money I had. That was it. Okay, so I couldn't afford the rent. I was desperately trying to find a job, and I couldn't find one. I was filling out applications online, going in person, going to my church. I couldn't get hired anywhere. Okay, and at that time, I thought it was a horrible thing. It turned out it was the best thing that could have ever happened to me, actually, to not get a job. So this is what happened. So 30 days passes. I couldn't pay the rent. I contacted the owner to communicate with him about the situation, and I told him I'm actively looking for a job, and I was. I decided to get a storage and little by little start packing the boxes, emptying room after room after room, okay? And the second month's coming up. Couldn't pay that month either. And I told the owner, I'll be out at the end of the month, I promise. I will leave the apartment clean also. He said, okay, no worries. So I'm on the floor, prostrated out, crying to the Lord, praying, reading all the Psalms, and actively trying to seek how to put all my trust in Him through a huge trial and tribulation. And these were some of my prayers. Lord Jesus, how am I going to find out? How am I going to know where you want me to go? How am I going to know? Because a lot of family members said, hey, you can come live with us, bring the kids, but just not your cats. Okay? And one evil family member said, I can move in with her and bring my kids, but why don't I euthanize my cats? Can you believe that? I think I hung up on her. Anyway, so I'm crying out to the Lord. How am I going to know, Lord, where you want me to go? Are you going to send me a dream? Are you going to send a messenger, to tell me? Like, how am I going to find out where it is you want me to go? Like, I don't know how to trust in you. Like, I'm all new at this, So, one day, I come home, and my Bible is left open on my bed. And I never leave my Bible open, because if you have cats, they get the zoomies and they run across your bed. They don't even care if you're laying in it. They'll run across your face, scratch you up. So I never left my Bible open for fear that they'd tear my pages. So when I come home, I saw that it was odd that my Bible was open. And I go to it, and there's a ripped page, and where the rip ended, it landed on a Bible verse. And I looked at the Bible verse, and it was Psalm 68:13 in the New King James Bible. That was then. Now I'm King James only, but back then I had a King James, New King James. So the rip landed on this Bible verse here, and I read it, and I knew immediately where the Lord wanted me to go. I knew this was from the Lord. He says, though you lie down among the sheepfolds, you will be like the wings of a dove covered with silver, and her feathers with yellow gold. Okay? Now, I knew He wanted me to go to the sheepfold shelter. The sheepfold shelter was a shelter that was advertised on the local Christian radio over and over and over. Though you lie down among the sheepfolds, you will be like the wings of a dove covered with silver and her feathers with yellow gold. And I said, Lord, you want me to go to the sheepfold shelter? I run to my computer, type in sheepfold shelter, and boom, a picture pops up of communal living, and it shows several women in the kitchen all preparing the dinner for the communal living. And I said, Lord, I can't live with a bunch of women. This ain't gonna work for me, Lord. But it took a few hours, but I surrendered and I said, okay, Lord, I will go to the sheepfold shelter. If that's where you want me to go, I will go. So, pack up all the rest of my things in storage, empty out my unit. The owner comes. He had me sign a promissory note to pay. I owed him like $2,500. And I made an appointment to go to intake for the sheepfold corporate office, I guess. And by the way, my cats, because I went into that shelter and got approved to go into that shelter, my cats were sent to the animal safety net here in Long Beach, California, where they would go into a foster home, get all their immunizations taken care of, that my cats would be fixed, and they would update me with pictures weekly. Okay. So my cats were taken care of. I didn't have to stress out about them. And me and my kids were on our way because we just got approved at intake. The woman at intake tells me, you seem like a mature woman. I'm going to send you to the Riverside shelter. Go to that program. We're starting a new program there. I'm like, okay. So we get there. It's this huge, beautiful house. It's gated, an old house. Huge property. The house mother, her name was Gail, super sweet, invites us in, makes us all sandwiches and drinks with chips and all that. And then she says, okay, I'm going to take you back to your cottage. What? We get in a little golf cart and she takes us past like 4 little cottages and pulls up to one with a porch. It's a little house. Beautiful. Painted nice. Porch. Rocking chair on the porch. Washer and dryer. L-shaped sofa. Recliner. Kitchen. Granite countertops. Every kitchen appliance you could ever imagine. My kids had their own room. I had my own room. There's linens, bedding, all the cleaning products. Everything you could ever imagine was in that unit. Fully stocked. Vacuum cleaner, everything. Sliding window that goes out to lush grass. And by the way, when I had been praying back at the apartment, I had told the Lord, please let me find a little apartment. I don't care if it's dirty. I don't care if the bathroom's gross. I'll clean it. I'll paint it. I don't even care if it's in a bad part of town. Please get me a little apartment. But on one condition, Lord. Can you please let it have flowers, fruit trees, and birds singing? Please. And guess what? He didn't give me that. He gave me the sheepfold shelter that was pure luxury. And they had, when you open that sliding glass door to step out to the lush grass, they had flowers, fruit trees, and you could hear the birds singing, even woodpeckers. And it was music to my ears. So the Lord gave me all that and threw a cherry on top. That's the way he works. He'll give you all that and throw that cherry on top. So I was crying my eyes out when I saw the beauty, the luxury, plus the peace, the peacefulness was priceless. That's all I could say, you know? And God is great. Every single cottage, there was about 6 of them. Every single cottage had no TVs, but we had radios, and we could listen to Christian music, Christian radio, sermons all day long. My kids were learning Bible verses, memorizing them. We were doing great there. We were doing great there. And guess what? They make you get on public assistance. They make you get the food stamps. You pay all your bills, and then the rest you save it. You don't need to spend $1 there, because they will take care of everything you need. You need cleaning products, they're going to give it to you. You need bras, socks, panties, t-shirts, whatever you need, pajamas, they're going to get it for you. Okay? And every month, like clockwork, I made payment after payment after payment to the owner of that old apartment to bring down my balance. I even called him one November and I said, hey, it's a little tight right now because Christmas is coming up. He said, don't even say it. Don't say it. You've been paying on time. Pick up your payments in February. Okay. So when I got out of the sheepfold and I was on my feet and I had a job, I needed an apartment. And I said, I'm going to call that owner. So I call him, hey, do you remember me? Yes, I remember you. You're the only one that ever paid me once you moved out. The only one. I said, well, I need an apartment. And he goes, well, I have one available. And because you paid me, you don't even have to do a credit check. Just bring your deposit and you can move right in. And I did. I moved right in. And within that year, he made me an apartment manager at another building with a better unit. I'll tell you that story in another video. But do you see how boom, 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 like all these doors just started opening? You know? Because God promises that everything the devil uses for evil against you, the Lord will turn it into good for those who love him. Ain't that the truth? So I wanted to share this with you because yesterday I spoke to a beautiful young lady who was in need of encouragement, and I told her this story of how the Lord came through for me when I needed to get out and find a place to live. And, you know, hopefully it blessed her. But when I told her that story, I said, that's a great story. I need to memorialize this in a video and share it with the YouTube world out there. You know, you never know. So anyway, I hope this video helped you in any way. Keep up the faith, and God bless you all. Have a great day. Bye-bye.